Hi everyone, this is Victor and welcome back to my channel where you can find guides and tips of how to use the energies with the transits and also some valuable lessons as well about various topics. So today we're going to be speaking about the full moon, which is going to be happening on the 26th, 27th of April on 7 degrees of Scorpio. Now, this is a very intense one and it can really stir up emotions. And it's not because we're talking about Scorpio, but you're going to see that there are plenty of challenging aspects involved with this full moon. By the way, I would like to make an announcement. Uh, I have planned a webinar for you on mental health with astrology, and I have collected the most important indications of mental health and maybe how we can balance those out. I feel like with this full moon in Scorpio, actually, it's a brilliant time to release some of the emotional trauma, what we have accumulated, especially in the last 16 to 18 months. And I'm also going to be starting next weekend on Sunday, a vocational 15-week course where we're going to be discussing also financials. So how to invest money, what to invest in, and something to do with the financial cycles. Also, I would like to point out I'm not a financial expert. I just follow the stock market and stuff like that with the help of astrology. But without any further ado, let's get started and let's speak about that full moon in Scorpio. By the way, if you are interested in any of those webinars or course, then I'm going to be putting the link below as well, so check that out. Now, and talking about mental health, I have also made an introductory video on that. So if you have not listened to it yet, just check it out on my channel. I've listed at least, I think, about 8 indications which can be very valuable. But now, full moon in Scorpio. So especially the events that are culminating now will be pretty much tied to how you were building your life in the days that followed the 4th of November 2020. This full moon is very much about acknowledging your shadow side. By understanding it, you can better balance it out with some light, with some hope in your life. And I would like to make a quick note already. There is going to be a Uranus opposition to this full moon. So definitely the energies are very heightened emotions, and it could bring some unexpected, shocking situations as well for us to face. On a collective level and on an individual level as well. So basically what is being hidden, it can't be really hidden anymore. So we need to prepare ourselves to we need to prepare ourselves for a lightning bolt to strike and being something out in the open. Now, this full moon is actually, according to traditional astrology, is known to have its fall position, meaning that she doesn't really feel too well here. Why is that? Because moon rules the sign Cancer and it feels extremely well in the sign of Taurus. Now, Scorpio is the opposite sign from Taurus. So any type of planet or any signs where the planet is in the opposite sign of the favorite places, we either call it as a detriment or fall position. But I'm going to be speaking to you about that. So this is going to be a little bit more about the darker side of the moon, the shadow side of the moon. So hysterious, obsessions, and even sometimes vengeful feelings are very common with this moon in Scorpio. But this full moon is very ideal for dramatic purging of toxic situations, something which has no place anymore in your life. It's no longer serving you. It's a brilliant time to cut ties and somehow to empower yourself. But you know, in order for you to see the light, you're going to have to release some of the dramatic moments as well. By the way, I'm also going to be making a prediction for each sign towards the end of the video. But I recommend listening to the introduction of what full moon in Scorpio means. The reason being is because, you know, you need a general understanding of these energies, and then you can combine that with the house position. Okay. Now, so the full moon is always about balancing things out. It's like a little bit of a scale type of energy. And the scale is very much on the Taurian side at the moment because we've got 4 planets there. Actually, 4 planets, and we also have got Lilith there. So we've got the Sun, Venus, Mercury, and then Uranus as well, and then the Black Moon Lilith also. So, you know, how are we gonna be balancing these 2 energies out? So we're gonna have to look at those. So when a full moon is happening on the financial axis, which is Taurus and Scorpio, you know, Taurus is more about the material plane, and Scorpio is more about the spiritual plane, right? So very much the Scorpionic themes are heightened here. So something which is unconscious and going on behind the scenes, something about our emotional needs. Do we want to feel hidden? Do we have something which is under the surface and then it's like really poking or squeezing our heart, basically? But also, Scorpio is all about magic. So it's a brilliant time to do something magical as well. And I'm going to be speaking to you about that. Maybe I'm going to try to give you some ideas of what to do with that. But the Taurian energy is all about what we feel. So, and usually those feelings are related to our senses. So the way I touch, the way I see things, or even the way I, you know, taste things, right? So Taurus is all about your 5 senses. And this full moon is kind of telling you that what you are holding in your hand might not be what you actually see. So you're going to have to see behind the scenes as well. So this is the full moon, which talks about what we see is not necessarily the truth. And the moon is actually in the first decan of the Scorpio sign, which is a very much of a Marsian territory. So meaning that, you know, this is a very heightened energy here. Scorpio is all about cleansing. It's all about letting go of our fears. It's like emptying things out. I usually, you know, Scorpio, we might not like talking dirty, but, you know, Scorpio rules the toilet. And think about why we go to the loo, because we want to eliminate some of the dirt or some of the superfluous things within our body, right? So, and, you know, as much as it sounds nasty, but you know, when you go to the loo, you feel relieved, right? So this is exactly how you need to approach the Scorpionic energy. That's why Scorpio is connected to healing. It's a brilliant time to visit a therapist or an energy healer, or going psychologically very, very deep, right? But at the same time, we need to remember that, you know, the garbage needs to be emptied or it becomes stinky, right, in your kitchen. So do you also do the same from your body? So Scorpio rules anything over toxins, right? The poisonous kind of moments in our life. How are you going to empty that out? This is going to be a significant question. And this full moon is going to be very prominent because next year, the North Node is going to be hitting this point as well, the 7th degree at one point, right? So definitely, if you are not resolving something, it's going to come back to you. So as I said, Moon is opposing all the planets in Taurus: Sun, Uranus, Venus, and Mercury. And the Sun actually has got this quite tight conjunction to Uranus. It's within about 3 degrees. and it is bringing the attention to what is going on in the real world. Let's not forget that Taurus is kind of a builder. So we initiated something in the sign of Aries, and it's now more about building the foundation. And you might be asking the question, what is its costs, right? What do I need to pay for it? Does it have actually a strong foundation? So we came up with the idea last month. Now it's about time to build a solid foundation to that. But in order for you to achieve something with this, you need to tap into what is actually going on within yourself. Do I have some type of trust issues? Do I feel that I'm not worthy enough, right? Because this is exactly what you need to be working on in the Taurus season. Something around the fun, something around feeling, feeling valued by others and also by yourself as well. It's very important to mention that we've got two planets in full position at the moment, the Moon and Mars. And Mars is playing a huge key here because it's the ruler, it's one of the rulers of this full moon. And you need to know that when we are talking about planets in fall, the fall position of a planet feels like it's not heard, not seen, not respected, despised. It has got kind of a low value system. So the fall position of a planet is very much like a planet being in the 12th house, right? Those planets somehow have got the sense that no one is paying attention to them. Therefore, they try to compensate in an unbalanced way. So I usually say that planets in fall position have a more to do with psychological matters than something outside. So the fall position of a planet is like being in a prison. And in psychological terms, a planet in fall can mean a bad self-image, a low opinion of yourself, or self-loathing as well. It can be a part of you that you don't value or you refuse to listen to your inner gut. And this is what's getting highlighted for you. So when we have got Moon in the sign of Scorpio, you need to know that you've got a strong instinct to know, but in a deeper way than Gemini does. So it's all about searching for the truth rather than the facts. Usually it indicates that we want to be having a lot more cuddles, for instance, but we are scared of that because maybe our mom didn't give us enough. So there is a very strong need for nurturings, but at the same time, we've got all those monsters under the bed, right? Scorpio full moon is very good at sensing the evil in people, but also sensing the good as well, right? Moon in Scorpio, which is the planet of happiness, it does say that this moon is happy once it becomes passionate and it has passionate experiences around them. And yes, the transformation does hurt, but somehow this moon is craving for it because that shadow self of ourselves, the shadow side of ourselves want to kind of, step outside. It's like the demons or these dead entities are leaving your body, right? So, it's very important to know that during a full moon in Scorpio period, you can really lose your way if you are gloomy and you stay in bed and you lick your own wounds. If you feel that somehow everything is darkened around you, you can become very moody and you need something which is going to be lifting your spirit. Some of you might even feel that I want to die, right? Or I want to be striking back because someone hurt me. So it's kind of the full moon which wants to take a revenge, right? But it's a little bit different than, let's say, a Mars would do, because the Scorpio is more like about poisoning it. So a little bit of a slow death. And so it could really indicate that some of those things which have been killing you for a very long time, it's going to get exposed. So as I said, the sun has got this very strong connection to Uranus, and they are 3 degrees apart. So within 3 days of the full moon, actually, sun will meet that Uranus, right? So something can come up around the full moon, and 3 days or 3 weeks or even 3 months later, there could be some electrifying energy popping into your life, and you're gonna have kind of a clarity, because Uranus is all about the higher mind, right? But somehow it is stuck within you. That's why Uranus wants to get you out of your comfort zone. So, it's a high alert type of energy, higher awareness. Really want to create, right? Because it's Taurus energy and it wants something tangible. But in order for you to create, there is something you need to let go of. Okay? Now, it is definitely something which will be revealed from the outside world. We've got so much destabilizing energy going on at the moment. And I feel like it could be a shocking news what's coming in, for instance, through the social media, or even in the financial market. So some of you who are actually investing into stocks, crypto, and all those type of things, actually, this is the day when you need to watch out a little bit. I'm very curious today, not just these days, sorry, but the next, let's say, 6 weeks, you might want to be a little bit careful about what you put your money into. But I would also mention that investing money and having kind of a crash is also a possibility to invest, because it means that the prices will drop, so it's going to be cheaper to buy something. So there is always something good about it. Now, the top of the cherry is actually the Saturn Square to both the moon and the sun-Uranus energy. So therefore, we have got a T-square going on. So what we said so far was that Uranus shakes things up and it destabilizes energies, but Saturn talks about the divine timing. It is a dirty planet, so it actually indicates dirt, right? And it says, no, we need to have a little bit of a patience, and we need to actually be a little bit more conservative about it. But Uranus wants to push us to modernize things a little bit. And what is Moon telling you? Trust your instincts. So whatever is the solution to your issue, make sure you listen to your gut feelings, because that's somehow going to be helping you. But because Saturn is the apex of this T-square, that really shows that you still need to step back a little bit and waiting for the right time and the right moment, right? Taurus and Scorpio axes have so much to do with the topics of money, finances, and security. And Uranus being so close to this full moon, we actually, we might expect a sudden, an unexpected change, or even some type of resolution to our financial topics, right? It might be something which have been going on in our lives for the last few months. And the key trait to the Scorpio is kind of the desire to see beneath the surface and to investigate. We've got an urge to investigate things, a little bit of a fear of losing our privacy, or the fear of betrayal, or we are scared that someone is going to be letting the cat out of the bag. So there is an element of betrayal going on there. And sometimes we can be very spiteful as well with the Scorpio full moon, right? Especially when it's not well channeled. And it could really cause some type of dramatic moment in our life. So also, we might be seeing some type of controls in the society. So maybe some type of financial controls, or even some political matters as well, because Scorpio is very much associated with politics. it talks about the power. So we might be having some clashes going on there, but this full moon might be telling you to distance yourself emotionally from any type of chaotic moment, right? Because there is a heavy energy in Taurus, which says, just watch out for your own values. Don't blame, don't judge, don't discriminate, just focus on your own energies. So this full moon is very much about patience and sometimes a little bit of a mood swing as well. And as I said, Saturn is the apex planet at the moment, and it's in the sign of Aquarius, which really talks about the higher mind. So Saturn here tells you that you really need to have a reality check going on in your life. But Saturn is also concentration. So what are you really concentrating on? A reality check about how you feel about certain things, how you feel in the real world, right? And this full moon is ruled actually by two planets. One of them is Mars and the other one is Scorpio. Now, Mars is the traditional ruler, but did I say Mars and Scorpio? Sorry, I wanted to say Mars and Pluto. Mars is the traditional ruler and Pluto is the modern ruler. Now, the reason why it's quite interesting is because Pluto is actually on the day of the full moon is stationing retrograde. So it means that Pluto is a lot stronger. So I feel like a power hunger in the society is going to be very, very prominent. I really feel some of the clashes of governmental figures are going to be popping out in the next 3 months, surely. And the other ruler, which is in detriment. So Mars is all about frustration at the moment. Sorry, it's not in detriment, it's in fall. So it's all about frustration at the moment, right? And when Mars is in a fall position, as we said, it's quite psychological. It feels like in a prison. Now, I'm not going to speak about Mars in Cancer so much because I made a video about that. So if you are unsure, you know, what it means, then check it out. But, you know, it's all about family and fight. So some type of social worker type of energy, right? So, and one of the remedy for Mars in Cancer is all about swimming. One is a fiery planet, the other one is a water, so they can really put each other out, right? So the main question there is how to bring our emotions out without hurting people around us also. So I feel like this full moon is actually kind of on steroids, really. These combinations are actually quite volatile. But there is always a way out. And actually, that's going to be Vesta. So Vesta is actually trining the sun and sextiling the moon within 1 degree. So it's very, very tight. And now Vesta is something about focus. So, you know, that Vesta tells you that focus on things what really matters. Vesta being in the sign of Virgo tells you that focus on your everyday life. Don't focus on the bigger picture at the moment, right? It talks about when Vesta is trining your sun, it talks about focus and dedication can describe you and your actions. This is why you might be very successful in your enterprises. You know how to work hard and have the commitment to stay with your chosen project. Success is yours and it is earned. There are many areas of talent or vocations you would be great in. Anything to do with healing, investment, stocks, big businesses, or even the spiritual path. This is what Vesta trine Sun really much talks about. So again, you know, it does tell you focus on the matters which count the most. Because we've got this in Virgo, which is somehow all about the elimination process in our body. So how am I going to digest things and how I'm going to heal from that? And as I said, Vesta is sextiling the moon at the moment. So, you know, it's all about the memory. It's all about, especially around the family, the past, things you treasure the most, you know, the memories you fond a lot. Remember that they are the goldest part of our life. And it might tell you that this is what you need to remember at the moment. Now, the reason why this full moon, which is ruled by Mars, is also interesting because Mars is still out of bounds. Now, if you don't know what out of bound planet means, I made a video about that, so I recommend checking it out. But very shortly, it's like having a Uranus conjunction. So it's like having a Mars-Uranus basically standing right next to each other. And I feel like this is again just heightening the energy of some type of shock or anything to do with even demonstrations. Some part of the world, it might be very, very prominent. Now, I read in the articles that, I mean, I read some articles that, especially in Ireland, there have been some frictions going on. And not the only place, but, you know, this volatile Mars can bring something to do with earthquakes again, some type of extreme weather conditions as well. So extreme weather condition in a sense that either it's going to be quite hot or it's going to be quite chilly. And you know, today I'm looking at looking outside the window, and actually it's raining, and it's about again about 0 degrees at the moment, and we are almost on the stone of May. So it's quite interesting to see. So this new moon altogether is very good for personal transformation, death and rebirth processes, something to do with shadow work, even occult practices. But it's also brilliant to be intimate with your partner. Also, if you have got some insurance or tax inheritance matters, it's going to get highlighted. And any type of shared resources of all kinds also belong here, and it's worth having a look at it. So as I said, this full moon, which is opposing the Uranus, you know, it tells you that we need to be making some adjustments, and we need to release in how we are embodying our uniqueness and showing that to the world as well, right? So the question is, are you trusting your intuitive cause? And are you taking an action on that? Could you do more to serve others using your special gifts and talents, right? By the way, also Moon and Mars have got a trine as well. And what's also interesting about them is that they are something called mutual deception. Why is that? Because Mars is in the sign of Cancer at the moment in its fall position, and also Moon is in its fall position as well in the sign of Scorpio. So that's what we call as mutual deception, not reception, because the two planets are very agitated and they don't really have the energy to make anything going on. So therefore, even that trine is actually acting like a little bit of a square, really. Now, the reason why I chose this background, because actually this is called as a pink full moon. And therefore, if you want to be doing some magic, as I said, it's brilliant time to do that. Choose purple, red, gold, or even pink candles. And you might want to be using rainbow moonstones, for instance, or even any type of stone, which includes aquamarine, for instance, or ruby. And you might want to be foiling those candles up with some rosemary or vanilla type of flavor. But you know, one more thing which I wanted to talk to you about this full moon in Scorpio, because I feel like the Scorpio evolutionary process has got 3 stages. The first stage is very much represented by this survival instincts, you know, like the reptiles does. Then the second stage is like the eagle who is gonna be flying above events and seeing things, you know, from a greater perspective. And the third stage is of the development of the phoenix bird, right? So we're talking about a mythical bird who managed to rise above the ashes, and it started basically a new life. So it's like becoming a butterfly, really. You're gonna have to, this full moon is kind of gonna highlight for you what stage you are at the moment and how are you gonna be going further in your own journey. So, but let's have a look at what it indicates for each of the sign now. So if you have got an Aries rising sign, then this full moon will be in your eighth house. So this full moon will be, as I said, very super powerful and magical time for you, most probably. It can help you to discover your psychic abilities, but eighth house also relates to other people's money as well. Something to do with your business money or your significant others money as well, but also it could indicate something to do with government, bank loans, other people's money. It is one of those two houses which is carrying some mystical stuff to it. The other one is the 12th house. So it indicates to you that you need to be using your powerful approach and the powerful communication style, as well as your intuition as well. And it's all about where I want to be putting my money and how I can make the best use of my financials. If you are having some type of quarrels with another one, maybe with your business partner or even with your romantic love affairs, then it is the best time to actually speak about it or do something about it and making sure that we create a stronger bond within our relationship. Probably it's time for you to release some of the tensions as well, because there is always a power in forgiveness. When we talk about Taurus rising sign, then the Scorpio full moon is going to be falling into your seventh house. And the seventh house very much relates to significant other and business partnership. So the magic here is of letting go now in regards to any of the relationship drama you might have been experiencing. Using your psychic intuitions and as well as talking about your personal needs with your partner is extremely important, but maybe with a softer tone, right? Maybe someone is not able to live up to your expectations, and you're going to have to verbalize those, what exactly you need. Maybe it is a time actually that some of the business, your business partners' motives are going to be highlighted. Maybe it's about time to let go of your business partner and think about how you can actually take that how you can take it a step further, basically. When we speak about Gemini rising, meaning that your Scorpio full moon is going to be falling into your sixth house, which is all about lifestyle. So it is very important that maybe you start or some of your health matters or lifestyle will be highlighted for you. So am I at the right workplace? Am I actually spending enough time with things which really matters to me? Right? It could be quite a magical time for you to step up your work service to others as well. But maybe letting go of some past disagreements with others, which might be relating to your workplace, work colleagues, and so forth. When you have got a Cancer rising sign, it means that Scorpio full moon is going to be falling into your fifth house. Now, as I said, this full moon has got really a financial nature to it. So it might be actually a brilliant time to invest into something, meaning that you're going to be choosing a speculative business and you want to be focusing on becoming, for instance, a self-employed person. Or it might be an indication for you that it's time to talk about children. So do we want to have a child? Do we not want to have a child with your partner? If you are single, this is actually a brilliant time for you to actually consider getting out there, dating, because some of your fears need to be let go of, right? Around connecting with others. It's truly about expressing your true nature. And the question will remain here: what is your true nature, and why are you not showing that to others? When it comes to Leo rising sign, meaning that Scorpio is going to be falling, I mean, the full moon is going to be falling into your fourth house. So the family matters will be very emphasized for you. Is there any type of debate with some of the family members which need to be let go of? Or is, for instance, someone sick in the family? Or unfortunately, you might have lost someone recently, and you need to somehow forgive yourself or forgive the other person as well, that they chose to go and pass on in this incarnation. But fourth house is also something to do with properties. So maybe it's an indication that it's time to sell a property or even invest into a new property. When it comes to Virgo rising sign, meaning that you have got the full moon falling into your third house, it's highlighting the power of communication for you, meaning that it's brilliant time to speak about your past, speak about what hurt you. And it's a very good time to connect and make new friends who might listen and understand you as well. But at the same time, you're going to have to listen to them as well. It might be an emotional time for you in a sense that someone is really trying to dump basically plenty of psychological matters onto you, and you act like a psychic sponge. You can really give them advice, but at the same time, it might stir some of your emotions up as well. Don't forget to verbalize those for you. But third house is something to do with business senses as well. So even for Virgo rising sign, after so many calculations and maybe missed opportunities as well, it might be a time to start something in the business world. When you have got a Libra rising sign, it means that your financials will be highlighted the most. So it's going to be talking about, am I relying way too much on my partner's money? Or actually my partner is relying on my money way too much as well. So how are we going to be, how are we going to be sharing responsibilities when it comes to financial matters? But also at the same time, you might want to get a loan. You might want to somehow boost your financial matters. Full moon is always about a culmination point. So maybe it's about letting go some of the financial fears, what we've got, and starting something fresh. When you have got a Scorpio rising sign, well, it's definitely going to be affecting you the most because the full moon is going to be falling into your first house, meaning this is the time when you have to transform. And this is the time when you're going to have to think about, okay, which stage am I at when it comes to that reptile state of mind, or actually I am an eagle now, or actually I'm going to become a phoenix bird, right? So it is indicating something around changes in your environment, changes the way you dress, the changes you approach things. It might be telling you that it's time to be a lot more optimistic and leaving some of the pessimism behind. When you have got a Sagittarius rising sign, meaning that the full moon is going to be triggering your 12th house. Well, it is definitely an emotional time for Sagittarius rising also, because it pretty much talks about that prison type of energy, what I've already mentioned in regards to the fall planets. So do you feel that you are in a prison, and how can you break out of that? How can you let go of of that inner state which is causing you some type of emotional turmoil within yourself? Maybe you feel stuck because you can't travel or you can't go to school, and you are way too much alone. And this full moon might be telling you that you need to find ways to enjoy being alone as well. And maybe it might be some type of service to others as well at the same time. When it comes to Capricorn rising sign, meaning that you have got the full moon happening in your 11th house, well, this is definitely about your long term goals. So it does indicate that it's highlighting opportunities for you to get out there in the world, maybe collaborating with a couple of friends of yours, and then finding new ways of gaining money. So it might be something about, you have had a dream about wanting to do something around scorpionic themes, but you had the fear of, am I going to be able to make money out of that or not? And it says that it's time to start working on that somehow. And then in the long run, you're going to have to use the new skills you might be acquired to actually gain this time around. Maybe it's actually highlighting the need to become more visible when it comes to your workplace, and you want to get a pay rise for that. You might need to let go of your fears that you don't get it, and it's just about speaking to your boss that, listen, I've been here for 5 years and I feel like I deserve a pay rise because I've done this and that. When you have got an Aquarius rising sign, meaning that you're going to be having um, your full moon falling into your 10th house, it is highlighting your career. But also, it is about the need to balance out my private life as well as my professional life. And what part of my career maybe I need to let go of in order for me to spend more time with my family because they might need me, right? But it is also shedding a light onto your career achievements as well. So very similarly to the 11th house meta, it might be a time to actually letting go of some of the frustration you might be having at work and saying, I had enough and I'm going to be looking for a new job. Or I'm going to try to kind of iron out all the disputes I might be having at the work environment. And last but not least, if you have got a Pisces rising sign, then you will be having this full moon in your 9th house. Brilliant time to learn about magic, brilliant time to learn about how to manifest, how to attract things. I usually say that the Scorpio is all about uh, attract attracting people in your worst days as well. So you might not put on makeup and then you still attract someone new into your life. So it's about rediscovering that power of mind, what you've got, and looking at the bigger picture rather than being so a little bit narrow minded, really. So, again, it's a futuristic house. So, what I want to be doing in the future, but how I can also reconnect with my inner gods, right? And maybe it's going to be all about being awake around that full moon and listening to those messages, what the sun and the moon, which does talk about a cosmic marriage, right? How I'm going to listen to that. And then eventually I can bring it into practical forces also. So I just wanted to give you a short description of what each of these signs might be experiencing when it comes to the full moon. I hope you have enjoyed the video, and then if you did so, then please press like and share the video with others as well, so that the channel can grow and then I can bring you more material as well. Thank you, everyone, and have a blessed full moon. Bye bye now.